Hello friends, my name is Vaibhav and I welcome you to my YouTube channel Fragmenting Wisdom. In our previous video, we learned about what is process approach. In this video, we are going to learn about the relationship of process approach and PDCA cycle. The process approach is amazingly simple when we link it with PDCA cycle. The PDCA cycle integrates with processes and their interactions with risk-based thinking in every step. The PDCA cycle also supports fundamentally for continual improvement of business management system. In this video, we are going to learn about exactly the same thing. In this video, we are going to learn about PDCA cycle and how to use it for improvement of a process. So let us now learn what is PDCA. The full form of PDCA is plan, do, check and act. This model is also called as Deming cycle or Deming wheel. This model was developed by W. Edward Deming in 1950s. He developed this model on the basis of his learning from structured approach of problem solving. He also named this model as Shewhart cycle because he got inputs from his mentor Walter Shewhart. So let us now learn how to use process approach for continual improvement of a process. To start this journey, we have to start with the key phase, which is planning phase. While doing the planning phase, we need to start measuring and monitoring our processes. These processes can be measured and monitored on two parameters. We call them effectiveness and efficiency. They are also called as KPOV. We call them as key process output variable. The performance of KPOV, key process output variable, is based on two factors. The first factor is KPIV, key process input variable, the inputs which we provide to the process. And the second factor is process steps followed or missed. If key process input variable is not appropriate, or if the process steps are not followed or missed, then in that scenario the KPOV performance fluctuates. It fluctuates in unexpected way, and we have to trigger this KPOV performance to start with the planning phase. If these KPIVs are not appropriate, we have to provide appropriate inputs to the process. We also need to check whether the process steps are followed or not. And if the process steps are not followed, or sometimes they could be wrongly followed, in that scenario, we need to identify the change point. The change point which would have triggered the process steps not followed or wrongly followed. In this scenario, for this change point and for this wrong KPIV, we need to provide inputs or KPIVs which are appropriate one. And for this change point, we need to make necessary changes in the process. We need to see that whether these necessary changes in the process which we made and the new inputs which we provide are appropriate and they are providing any benefit to the process. Let us now move to the next phase of PDCA cycle, which is do phase. The do phase does not typically mean that the implementation of complete change which we planned in the planning phase. It says that we have to implement change on small scale. So it says implement the change on small scale and then test or trial the change. This test can be done with the help of hypothesis testing, or we can use a KPOV monitoring here for testing the change. I will talk about hypothesis testing in my upcoming videos. Let us now move to the next important phase of PDCA cycle, which is check phase. In check phase, we use the concept of TGR and TGW. TGR stands for things gone right and TGW stands for things gone wrong. We use the data which we collected in do phase from hypothesis test or monitoring of KPI to find out what went right and what went wrong. This data we will be using in next phase, which is act phase. The last phase of PDCA cycle is act phase. In this phase, we are going to decide whether to accept the change or to reject the change. To make this decision, we can use the data which we collected from the do phase and the TGWs which we collected and the TGRs which we collected from the check phase. With the help of do and the check phase, we can decide whether to accept the change or to reject the change. Sometimes you may have to repeat the complete PDCA cycle if we are not getting the desirable result. If we are getting the desirable result, then we can definitely go for the implementation or deployment of the changes. And if these changes are giving us the expected results, then simultaneously we can plan for horizontal deployment of these changes. And this is how the improvement happens in the process. The improvement can be tracked again with the help of KPOV monitoring. This KPOV will keep on monitoring on a frequent basis. For the successful implementation of PDCA cycle, the engagement and the involvement of top management is very essential. The PDCA cycle has to be followed from top to bottom to get the continual improvement in the process. The next important part of the PDCA cycle and the process approach comes here as turtle diagram. And this is going to be my topic of next video. In the next video, I would like to throw some lights on turtle diagram, the myths, the benefits, and the importance of turtle diagram, and of course how to make the turtle diagram in an easy way. I also would like to take one simple example from the industry for preparation of turtle diagram, and I hope, like previous videos, you will also enjoy the video of turtle diagram. I request you to please provide your valuable feedback in comment section of my YouTube channel. I also would like to get your likes and shares for this video. If you have not yet subscribed, I request you to please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, and along with that you can press the bell icon to get the notification about upcoming videos. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video and see you next time. Till then, bye bye.